Hello everyone, welcome to our today's workshop, which is based on CRUD operations, and welcome to our day 4 of CipherWeek. So today's session is all about CRUD operations and fundamentals about the CRUD operations. And today's our special guest is Nitesh, who is the product head at CipherSchools. So, oh, I'm so sorry. Was I audible to you, everyone? Can you please let me know if I was audible? You can just drop in the chat section. Okay, so yeah. So today's workshop is all about CRUD operations, where you will get to know about the fundamentals of CRUD operations. So again, I will tell you, today's our guest is Nitesh, who is the product head at CipherSchools. So I will just invite him in. Hi Nitesh, how are you?
Hi, Yasin. I'm fine, and what about you?
Okay, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Oh,
So,
so
how's
how's
the
your
day?
day? My day
Uh,
was very fascinating, actually. How was your day?
okay. Great, yeah, it's awesome. Always, my day is always awesome. Just
So full
because
of
all the
wins.
good persons are moving around us, me.
Okay. Just moving forward, can you just tell like what is the basic things about the CRUD operation? Then I will leave and you guys can continue. Just basic thing.
Okay, okay, just wait a minute. Yeah, so hello everyone. I'm audible to you guys?
Yeah, you're
Okay, yeah, about me as Yasi has introduced me about like who am I and what I'm doing right now is something like he already mentioned in my introduction actually. So today I'm going to tell you about what is CRUD operations, and like I'm just sharing you some points about what is actually CRUD operations. What is the term called CRUD? What's the what is full form of CRUD? That you have already have an idea about what is CRUD. That is always linked to the databases. Okay, whenever you have heard about CRUD, it's always a databases. Whenever you make like any platform that you are like your simplest one, to-do list. Okay, so you are creating a to-do task that is called C of the CRUD operations. When you are just reading out all the tasks that what you have to do in your daily life, that is your reading of the to-do task. Okay, when you have to update it, yeah, it's done, it completed. That is called the updating your task. Okay, that's called U of the CRUD. And D is about when it's all done. When you are going to make a new day task, to do task, then it's called D for deleting a task. So that's all about CRUD, and we're going to all get into deep of the part of like about the databases, how we are performing CRUD operations on different databases, that we are going to deep down in the further sessions, like in the
okay.
further class.
Okay, thank you so much for telling me and everybody about little bit about CRUD. And yeah, you can take forward the workshop. I will not interrupt. And you have any trouble or anything, you can call me anytime. I will be available. Thank you, Nitesh, and please take forward the session. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you so much, Yusi. Hello everyone, I'm audible to you guys? Okay, Kunal. So how was your day, guys? कैसा रहा दिन आज अभी तक का? All good. Celebrating Valentine's Day with your Valentine. If it's virtually, then Bajrang Dal. Great, yeah. फिर क्या लेके लाठी लेके बैठे हो क्या? Black Day, okay. खा गए थे सर जी भाभी no I there's nothing like that Arun. Okay, yeah, so great, yeah, we let's start our what for what we have right now, what we are doing right for right now is about the CRUD operations. Okay, I'm fine, Afroz, thank you so much. Okay, I'm just sharing my screen. Yes, see, am I audible to you? Could you please give me access of sharing my screen?
Yes, of course. Please allow me a few minutes. I will do that. So, and you are audible.
Yeah, sure, sure. Okay. So guys, कुछ बताओ फिर. How was your day? And what do you think about CRUD? Did you heard about the CRUD term called CRUD? Anyone? Okay, Pankaj says no. Okay, I thought you guys have heard about the CRUD. Okay, okay. Mitesh says yes. We have studied this in SQL. Okay, Utkarsh. Fundamental operations. Yeah, Kunal. Okay, Rishabh. What about rest of the students, guys, and rest of the participants? Did you guys heard about the CRUD and and if you have an idea about like any of the databases like MySQL or MongoDB, because it was great, Rohit.
I'm so
Thank you
sorry
so
to
much.
interrupt, Nitesh. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Now you can share with the screen. Okay, continue.
yeah, I got it. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Is my screen visible to you guys? Okay, fine. So relational works for relational DB. I know. Okay, fine. Okay. So certificate कब आएगा? Uh, like I think Yasi and Sanskar is a good person who will going to tell you about this info, but you can easily ask it these type of info in the group community group, Navdeep. Okay, okay, guys. So let's start. Like most of the students have an idea about what is CRUD, but some who those who have don't have any idea about what is CRUD and what is the databases. So I'm giving you an info about it. So if my screen is visible, then just acknowledge it in the chat, please. Is my screen is visible? Okay, thank you so much, Kunal. Okay, guys. So what we are going to cover in this workshop, like what is CRUD, obviously, because this is all about CRUD operations. Then we are going to learn about databases because CRUD operations are directly linked to databases where we can perform this create, read, and update and delete while operations. Am I right? So we need to have some storage part where we can operate this, where we can use these terms or use these operations. Understood? So we are going to learn about databases. Then we are going to learn about create operations, which is obviously what is CRUD. C for create operations, read operations, update operations, and delete operations. So I am just like I'm thinking that you do not have any idea about any of the databases. So I'm going to make a script or make a query for both of the database. Like, is it related to relational database, or we can say and no SQL databases. Okay, we're going to cover these things. What is relational database and what is non-SQL databases. But I'm just expecting it that you have a little bit knowledge about CRUD, and that's all. There's no any other things that I'm expecting that yeah, you have an idea about databases and all these things. Okay, so this session is all of the persons who have a little bit knowledge about CRUD, and if they don't have any idea about what is CRUD, so they also can attend this class, this session actually. Okay, so starting with CRUD, what is CRUD? So if you can see my screen actually, so you can see CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. Okay, so these are the 4 operations that you have to do inside the CRUD. Okay, so this is just an abbreviation, or it stands for something like C for create, R for read, U for update, and D for delete. Okay, so it is a set of operations that allows users to add, remove, update, and read data in databases. Understood? So this is what we call it as a CRUD. And just to relate you with these terms, what is called CRUD, like you have an idea about, like most of the everyone have an idea about what is Flipkart and what is Amazon. Am I right? Who are doing shopping from Flipkart and who is doing shopping from Flipkart, Amazon? Anyone? Okay. So there's a very famous thing that we are going to do. Like, why do we need something called database? Okay, why do we need something called databases? If you can see, you have orders much very like frequent things from Amazon or Flipkart. Like you are ordering smartphones, you are ordering like clothes, you are ordering like laptops. Okay, from is Amazon or Flipkart. So they have also a databases. Why are they are going to store their some data from you? Okay, so you are the users. You are always going to log in. Okay, you are before login, you need some registration on the platform. Okay, in CipherSchools, in Flipkart, in Amazon, and all these platforms, you need a registration before getting into the platform. Understood? So while registration, you are creating a document, or we can say a row that on the platform or in the databases that I am a user of this platform. Understood? So that creation, that giving an idea to a platform that you are a user of that platform is a creating a database, creating a term. Understood? Giving an idea to a platform that you are a user of this platform, okay, is called creating creating a part of CRUD. Understood, guys? Okay, so if you are registering on Amazon, if you are registering on Flipkart, if you are registering on any of the platform, you are creating or you are giving an idea to a platform that I am the user of this platform. So for that case, when you are just writing some first name, last name, email ID, and password, and all these things, you are creating a row in case of SQL and document in case of MongoDB in the databases. Or you are something like make a inserting a data in the database. That's it. So that's about the creating. Okay, so like when you are just ordering something on Flipkart or an Amazon actually, so like you have ordered like a smartphone. Okay, so they are going to store a lot of data for related, which is going to relatable for them. What are the data that you are going to store, that they are going to store in the database? That is, first is users credentials. Am I right? Could you please tell me, guys, what are the others? What are the what are the other data that they are storing according to you? I've just given a hint that they are going to store users data. What are the others data that they're going to store? Users details and order detail. Okay, hers. Anything else according to you that they are going to store? Payment details, yeah, obviously payment details. Because most of the like Amazon or Flipkart, they are going to store their card detail, your card details. Okay, so obviously, Kunal, they are going to store payment details. Users interest, good, one because they are going to store some user interest. Like, what is user interest? User interest is directly linked to the recommendations. So according to your interest, they are going to recommend some products. So if you have like most of the guys you have seen, like when you are just searching for mobile phones, for next the feed, when you are returning back to the Amazon, you can see all the products related to the smartphone, like charger, like earphone, like smartphones. If you are going to search for Apple smartphone, they are going to use so the Apple iPad watch, earphones, and all these things. Okay, so they are storing a large amount of data on your behavior. How was your behavior on the platform, what you are searching, what you are like ordering, what you are seeing. So they are going to observe all the behavior that you have spent on the platform. Understood, guys? So they are storing a bunch of data on their database. That's why you have seen that Facebook data or Amazon data, they are storing their databases into their oceans, their backups databases. Okay, most of you guys have an idea about it. That like have get a news that yeah, Facebook have stored their databases, backup database in the oceans, inside the oceans. Am I? So like orders ID, yeah, or if they are storing the orders, they are going to store the orders ID to hers. what they use to search regularly. Yeah, that's about the user behavior. History, yeah, right. Their order history. Okay, anything else that is coming into your mind, guys? What do you think? What are the data that Amazon is capturing or Flipkart is capturing and storing it in their databases? Anything about from users details, order details, payment details, interest, and about to be histories. So there is a bunch of it. Data about their seller, right, Utkars? So Amazon is a platform which is for the consumer as well as seller. So they are going to store seller details also. Then they are going to have on a different column that what are the what are the products that a seller is going to provide. If I am the seller on the Amazon, so what are the products that I am selling on the Amazon? Like if I'm a clothing brand, so I'm going to sell jeans, t-shirts, shirts, and all these things that I'm going to sell. So there's a data that is there. Amazon is going to store that I am a seller going to store these, going to sell these type of products. Okay, so there's a big bunch of data that they are going to store in the databases. Okay, so that's why they like all the databases, all the operations that they are going to do with the database is only restricted to CRUD. Okay, only whatever the data that they, if it is related to user interest, if it is related to user behavior, user orders, payment details, seller details, and all these things are going to be handled with the help of CRUD operations. These are the only four operations that we can perform on the databases. Understood, guys? So you should have an idea about the you should have an idea about what are these operations, how we can perform these operations on the databases, because there are multiple databases on the in the market. If we are talking about how many type of databases, you have all have learned about this in DBMS lectures in your college academic life. Okay, what is DBMS and how many type of databases? So there's called distributed, there is called relational, there is called NoSQL, there is called key value pair databases. Am I right? So there are multiple types of databases that exist in the market. Okay, then we are going to term out what are the databases, like we can say MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB. If you have an idea about more of them, anyone, guys? किसी को आइडिया है और किसी डेटाबेसेस को? MySQL, MongoDB, PostgreSQL. Anyone? Do you guys heard about Oracle? Okay, good. Outcomes. Oracle. Anyone else? Yeah, no one. GraphQL. Do you have an idea about GraphQL? Yeah, MySQL. Cockroach DB. There's Cassandra. Cassandra DB. Mitesh. Yeah, Firebase. IBM. So there's a bunch of databases that exist in the market. Okay, and you don't need to learn everyone. Okay, yeah, Excel is also a database. You can store not like they are using as a databases, but yeah, again, databases are different from DBMS. Okay, if we are talking about DBMS, database management system, there's only three or four actually. One is distributed systems, relational database, like NoSQL database, and key value pair database. Okay, so these are the only four DBMS databases that exist. Then we are coming on the part, what are the types of databases that we have? So like MongoDB is a type of NoSQL database. Cassandra DB is a type of NoSQL database. PostgreSQL, SQL are the data type of SQL database. So we can say relational database. Okay, Redis are based on key value databases. Okay, GraphQL based on like we can say NoSQL databases. Okay, so these are something like the types of databases that exist from these different DBMS concepts. Understood? So we can say, of course, Excel is also, we can say, storing for data. So anywhere that you are storing data is called database. Okay, but in this case, Drive and Excel are called data storage. Understood, Utkarsh? Sir, which is the safest one? Nothing called safest one actually. You need to implement security purposes. You if you can talk about MySQL, if you talk about MongoDB, all are or you have to apply some security rules and regulations for their database, for their we can say databases. You have to apply. That's called database. If you can see the definition of what is databases. So I'm just giving an idea of what is database. A database is a planned gathering of data. Okay, you can see my screen. A database is a planned gathering of data. They enable the manipulation of and storage of data electronically. Data management is made simple by databases. Okay, so you have a particular rules and regulations for performing CRUD operations. If you are if you are, and that is all restricted based on security purposes. You are adding some rules to add some row or column inside inside SQL database. You are performing adding some security rules to add document in the MongoDB. Understood? So there's a proper security rules that you have as data, as a full stack developer, as a database management system manager. You have to apply in your databases to make it secure, make it safe, make it secure for other third party like malfunctionings. Understood? So you have to apply some security rules over that part. Understood? So I'm creating a project but unable to fetch user data from Firebase through Firebase using JS. I am able to store but unable to fetch it. You can just like see there's a if there's you are using a database, there's a particular documentation they have. Okay, if you are using MySQL, if you are using any MongoDB, or you are using Firebase, there's a documentation exists in the in their website. Firebase also have their documentation. Just try to look into it. Okay, but like as Firebase is a key value pair databases. Okay, Firebase is a key value pair data. There is a key and there's a value that you're going to store inside the Firebase. So it's more likely to be a NoSQL database. If you can see, if in case of relational database, it's only SQL and PostgreSQL. You have to make a row and column. Okay, SQL is totally based on rows and columns. When you are talking about NoSQL database, there are 4 types of NoSQL databases. If you can see, one is key value pair. You have to store key and value. That is something look like Firebase. There's a key and there's a value. Understood? So Firebase is something like a key value database. We have a column family. Then we have a graph. GraphQL is a very famous database that we are looking in the current market actually. Most of the companies are just navigating from like row column database to GraphQL database just because of their simplicity and optimization processes. Because GraphQL have multiple nodes and they are working on graph data structures. Okay, sir, how to apply that security in databases in MySQL? Sir, I want to add some security in my project. How can I? So based on that, what are the things that you are restrict? Okay, like based on like you have an idea about APIs. What is APIs? Application programming interface. You have an idea about it. Do you? Yeah. So that how secure your API is depends on how secure your database is. Okay, like because you only can access your database with the help of APIs. Am I right? There's nothing any system that exists in the in your internet or in your system through which you can access your database. Okay, so APIs is the only key, the only medium through which you can just connect your databases or just get an access to your database. To more like make it more secureable, try to make your API more secure. Okay, those who don't have any idea about what is APIs actually, so I'm giving you an idea about what is API. Okay, so if you guys can see, you have this system. Okay, so like see there's a client, you are the client. What is client? So this is a front end where you're performing and you are opening an app website. Okay, so this here we have open Flipkart website. Got it? And there's something called Flipkart server. There's something called Flipkart server. Okay, so these are this is a client and this is a server. So when you are going to access all the products that you need to show on your Flipkart data of like Flipkart homepage, you need to contact this server. Am I right or not? For getting the homepage details, you need to contact this server. Okay, so how you can contact? There is nothing like, are you going to go to the server room and just collect all the data and send to the client side? Yeah, there's some person who is requesting for all the products. Is it like that? No. There should be a medium. Was that? It should be a APIs. What is APIs? It is called application programming interface. Application programming interface. So there, the is like what the API stand for. It stand for application programming interface. All the the connectivity between application and programming. It's a interface between the application and program. Understood? It's API is an interface between application and program. Understood? So this is what API is. So API is a medium through which you can directly get contact your server. And what is server? It's when you are requesting for some data, like when you are requesting for your home page data. Okay, if you can see, just I'm going to take a blank page here. Okay, so if we can see about you are requesting for home data, or we can say feed data. Okay, just wait. If you're requesting for feed data, Flipkart feed data. Okay, so you are requesting a particular API. Okay, what was that API? Let's suppose it's something called products. Okay, this is the endpoint. What should be the URL actually? It says https://www dot product like flipkart.com. So this is a domain name. It is a domain name. That means it has some IP address. Understood? It has some IP address. So it has the IP, all IP address have some locations. Am I right? All IP address have some locations. So through this domain name, they can get IP address, and through this IP address, they can get a machine through which they need to contact. Understood? So with the help of this IP address, your client, you are in Delhi, or you are in Mumbai, or you are in any part of your globe. Okay, with this help of domain, you get an IP address through which you can get contact with the Flipkart server. Understood? So this domain name gives you an IP address which will going to which will going to direct you to the server room. आपको दिल्ली से बैठे बैठे फ्लिपकार्ट के सर्वर रूम पे बिठा का लोकेशन देता है आईपी एड्रेस. How to secure an API? The more validation, more like how you're writing an API, how you're writing, how you have handled error details. Like let's suppose you are making a or you authentication system. Okay, you are authentication system. You are making an authentication system. Okay, there's a platform you need to make. You need to authenticate. Okay, so what are the error handling that you are going to follow? Anyone? कोई बताएगा? What are the error handling that you are going to follow? If you are making a platform through which you can through which you can authenticate yourself, like let's suppose in a Flipkart platform. Okay, so you are making a Flipkart platform so that user can logged in. Okay, no, you should not want to make a user or make your data publicly available. Okay, so how you can like how can you can validate those datas? Anyone, guys? Arun. Okay, just ignore. Anyone, guys? We uses DBMS for database. API is similar to database. No, the API is something through which you can contact your server. Okay, see, database is something like, no, let's suppose I'm just giving an idea about it. See, you are making, there's something called database. I just wait. Yeah. What is a database? Where you are storing datas. Am I right? Hers. What is database? Where you are storing datas. Okay, it's a machine. It's a simple machine. Okay, where what is a machine? Like what it is actually? It's a hard drive actually. It's a hard drive. जहाँ पे आप सारे डेटा जो स्टोर कर रहे हो, you are storing that all the data inside it. So simple, it's a simple hard drive. It's not a like and where how you are using this hard drive within a machine. So there's a machine, there's a computer that is in a server room where it has a hard drive. It has hard drive. It has we can say about RAM, and it has CPU. Okay, through which they can just communicate with your APIs. Okay, so you don't need to secure this data machine, because at the end you need to no one can access this database without this API. अगर आपको it's just take an analogy like that, likewise if you like अगर आपके घर का किसी को एड्रेस पता ही नहीं है, so how they can come there and just कोई वो बंदूक तानेगा तुम पे. Just think in such a way. If someone don't have any idea about your address, how they can just blackmail you. Who's Arun actually? Who is Arun? Yeah. Just ignore. Actually, he's someone जो एक notorious बंदा होता है जो हमेशा बीच में कुछ ना कुछ करता रहता है. Just ignore him. Okay. So if someone don't have any idea about your address, so how can they can blackmail you and just ping a means it's a contact between server and database. Yeah. See, API is something through which you. Yeah. We just wait a minute, Utkarsh. Yeah. So like if you are in a like you are accessing a data Flipkart website on your website on your computer. Okay, so it's a you are accessing a data like you are accessing a Flipkart website on your on your computer. So that means you are just accessing their front end. Okay, you are just accessing their front end. All the data, all the operations that you are going to do, it's all about the backend. There's three simple things. One is about the front end, backend, and database. Okay, there's two, three simple things. One is front end, back end, and database. Front end is all about your client side that you are seeing the interface. You have an idea about it. Back end is all about what are the all the APIs that you are going to make through which you can given access to this client side to the database. Understood? You are designing APIs in the case in backend through which you can make this. You can just give in contact on this client side and this backend. Understood? So API backend is a if all is a field of all APIs through which you can just contact your client side and the database. Understood? So, and this is all APIs where is it exists. You are going to at the end, in case of backend, you are all going to make an APIs. Okay, which will going to take which will going to connect this client side to this database. Now you can see about your security wala part. How, like, give yeah, just giving an idea about Susant. It's Susant. Just okay, just giving an idea about it. Just wait a minute. I just need to remove this person. Yeah, leave it, guys. The team is handling their this push. Yeah. So we're going to learn about it, Susan. Just don't worry, don't take it like it's so much complex in so much complex way. Okay, we're going to learn about it. So I'm just giving you an idea about what is database. So there's something called client side which you are accessing on your laptop. Okay, and there's something called database where all the data is stored. And in between of your database and your client side, there's something called backend, which is filled of all APIs. So this API, the work of this API is to take your request from client side and give it to database and take all the data that you are demanding and show it to your client side. Understood? Understood, guys? So it's something like you are requesting for this is you are on this platform. This is your laptop. This is your machine, and there's something called this server, Flipkart server, or we can say Flipkart database, where all the hard drives are stored. Okay, you are requesting for products, all products. Okay, you are requesting for all products on for my to my home screen. So it will going to contact this server. How they can contact with the IP address. So it has some domain https :// www .flipkart.com dash dash dash. Okay, so this domain has some IP address. So with the help of this IP address, it will going to contact this backend server. Okay, this backend server. So now they are going to validate. This backend server has a lot of functionalities. On all these securities, all the rules and regulations that you are going to apply on the APIs is going to be built at this backend server. Okay, you need to verify that this API that the person is requesting for, is it coming from a right computer, or it is not coming from a bot. Okay, you are adding some rules and regulation for that, but in a backend server कि ये जो रिक्वेस्ट आ रही है, इज इट नॉट लाइक किसी बॉट, तो कोई बॉट तो नहीं कर रहा जो फर्दर 100 टाइम्स रिक्वेस्ट कर रहा है, या एक ऑथेंटिकेटेड रिक्वेस्ट है, कोई मालवेयर मतलब कोई मिडल मैन तो नहीं है बैठे हुआ इसमें. Okay, they are going to check it. How they are going to check it with the help of some security functions. Okay, there's many of the things that are existing in the backend case, like the CSRF tokens. Okay, through which they can validate कि ये जो request आ रही है वो bot से आ रही है कि एक person कर रहा है. There is something called CSRF token through which you can get an idea कि ये जो request आ रही है ये bot के through आ रही है कि ये एक person के through आ रही है. Okay, so there's many of the validations, many rules and regulations that you're going to apply on the backend server before getting touch contact to the database. आप इस database से contact करने के पहले बहुत सारे validations आप check करोगे इस API पे जो आप request कर रहे हो. Understood? Understood or not, guys? And what are the rules and regulations? The first thing is about the validations. Ki validate, you are requesting for validation of your API. Are you requesting a right API? Are you requesting a right API that actually exists on our platform? That is called validation. Then something we are going to check, ki are you authenticated user? Ki are you a user of our platform? कि आप Flipkart के user हो या non authenticated user हो? So they are going to check कि are you authenticated user or not? Authenticated user or not? They're going to check. Then they are going to check कि this API is correct or not. API is let's suppose you are requesting for all products. Okay, you are requesting for all products. Let's suppose you are also passing some data like I also only want to see smartphone products. So they are going to check ki is that API exist on our platform? Ki yes, smartphone wala let's suppose we have a clothing platform like Myntra. Okay, so and you are searching for smartphone. So they are going to check ki is there any API exist for searching a smartphone? So that is also the case of validation. Okay, so you are checking this API exists on a platform or not. Then they are going to check and they are going to call this database, or they are going to call this function in the for the database access. Then you are going to write a query to access all products. So in that case, this is how it looks like. When you are opening your Cipher your Flipkart platform, this whole process is going to be happen, and all the data that if your API is correct, if you are authenticated user, and if your API is validated, so you are getting the data unless or until you will see some errors on your browser. Okay, most of the guys have you seen, like if you are authenticated user and if you want to access a URL which is not which is not accessible for authenticated user, so then in that case you are being redirected, or you are getting a pop-up key login please. Did you guys seen these things? Anyone? Like if you try to access some of the any URL which is something restricted to only for authenticated user, and in that case you are seeing a like something called error page, or we can see a more like we can say about pop-up sign in pop-up. So these all are validations, authentications, and all these rules and regulations going to apply on backend servers to apply more security. Okay, so no one, any middleman person can just access your database and extract all the data कि आपके सारे data का access ले लिया और सब कुछ आपका गया. Understood? So this is something like this is something going to be happen. Okay, now we are going to come on the databases which we actually are going to learn in CRUD operations. Okay, so we have something called we were on the CRUD operations actually. So we are learned about what we are going to learn about what is we can say about CRUD. So it's something like if you can see. So what is CRUD? So we have some C for create operations. That's I just given an idea about it. What is create operation in to-dos? Adding task in your to-dos is a create operation. Understood? Adding task in a to-dos is a create operation. So if you can see adding task in a to-do is something called create operation. Something like read operations. If you can see reading all the tasks from your to-do is called read operations. Okay, reading all the tasks from your to-dos is called reading operations. Similarly, if you can say about updating some to-dos, like it is completed or not, is called update like update operations. And similarly, if you have about deleting, so deleting a task from your to-do is called deleting operation. Understood, guys? Any doubt in CRUD? Now we are going to learn about databases. What is databases? Where you have facing some problems. Okay. So about what is databases? So we have learned about before that what is database, why do we need database? We already covered this topic. Why do we need database? To store a lot of data, just to see how user behave. I'm audible, guys. Please drop a message in the chat. And so sorry for the yeah. Thank you so much, Ankit. Yeah, there's some problem in my internet connection, and I'm feeling so very sorry for it. Is my screen visible to you guys? Okay, fine, great. So we were learning about data. What is database? So we have database is a planned gathering of data. And what is planned gathering? I'm just giving you an idea about it. So if we are talking about, like if we are storing, like in case of Flipkart database, so we have something called users. Okay, we have something called users. We have something called sellers. We have something called products. We have something called like a cart. Okay, order cart. We have something called payment card. Okay, there's a lot of details that we have to store inside the database. Am I right or not, guys? Anything would like to add it inside this one? Apart from this, users, sellers, products, cart, payment, and all these things. Because these are the data that you have to store in your database, and you don't need to have a different database for these data. If you like, in case of like, if you want to store some users, okay, if you want to store some like user data, so you don't need to be like store a different database for storing users data, am I right? So you want a single database for the storing all these data. Okay, so that's why what we call a planned structure of your storing a data. Okay, but that's why we call a database is a planned gathering of data. That means if we are storing if we are storing a users data, so there is something called users table for MySQL. Okay, if we are talking about sellers, that is called sellers table. Okay, there's something called products, so there is something called products table. Okay, so they have separated all the tables for different storing different types of data. Understood? So that is called planned structure of your database. Understood? So that's why we call a database is a planned gathering of data. Then we are going to say they enable the manipulation and storage of data electronically. That means we are running a query. Okay, we are running a query for creating a data document or creating a row in a table, reading a table, updating a table, and we can say deleting data from a table. So that is called we are electronically means we are running a query. We are running a query for manipulating that storage or database. Understood? That's why we call a database is a planned gathering of data. That means we have to store data in a planned manner. Okay, then we are going to say we are going to operate run a query for doing a manipulation of the data. So this is what we call databases. And there are two types of database. There are four, actually there are four databases, but most importantly, we have only two databases. One is relational database and the NoSQL databases. What is relational database? You have an idea about it. What is called SQL or MySQL? Do you have any idea about MySQL? Who have heard about this MySQL term? Anyone, guys? Okay, Susan says yes. Kunal says yes. Harsh says yes. Chehal Agarwal says yes. Naman, yes. Okay. So what is actually, if you have an idea about MySQL, so could you please tell me, guys, what is MySQL database and what is store information in table, rows and columns, right, Susan? So MySQL database, or we can say SQL databases, are going to store your data in rows and columns. So if you are talking about what is rows and what is columns and what is actually table. Okay, if we are making a table actually here. Okay, this is a table. Okay, so it has some rows and it has some column. So this is going to say column and this is called something called rows. And the intersection of rows and columns, can you please name it, guys? What's the intersection of columns and rows? What we call this one? Cell. Yeah. So in case of MySQL database, cell is a field. Cell is a field. Let's suppose if you are gathering some data while registering on a platform. Okay, let's suppose you are you are getting a registration on a Flipkart platform. Okay, so that you require name. Okay, you require email, you require password. Okay, so these are something called fields. Understood? Name is a field, email is a field, password is a field. Okay, so these are the fields that we are going to store. So we are going, in case of table row, we are storing this name field in a particular cell. Okay, we are storing email field in this cell. Similarly, in the case of password, we are going to store in this cell. Okay, so this is a row of a particular user. This is a data of particular. So for a particular user, we are storing in a particular row. Okay, if we are if we want to store some data for a particular user, we are storing in a particular row. Okay, if you are talking about all the row, all the field, if like suppose if you want to give me all email IDs. Okay, give me all email IDs who are registered on a Flipkart platform. Let's suppose this is a field for name, this field is a field for email. Okay, this is a field for password. Okay, so if I want, he just return all the email that is registered on the platform. Could you please tell me, guys, which column should I or which row or which column so, do I need to track? Anyone? If this is a row or table of your Flipkart database, in this column contains name, this column contains email, and this column contains password, then I want you, like I'm a Flipkart owner. Let's suppose I am a Flipkart owner, okay, and I want you to get all the registered platform, registered user on my platform. Okay, just I want to do I've given you a task key, just give me a count of all the users that is registered on the platform. What you are going to do? Anyone? कोई बताएगा? जैसे मैंने आपको टास्क दिया कि मुझे बताओ कि कितने नंबर ऑफ यूजर्स जो है मेरे प्लेटफॉर्म पे रजिस्टर्ड है. एनीवन? क्या करोगे आप? टोटल नंबर ऑफ रोज, राइट? टोटल नंबर ऑफ रोज, कुणाल. Anyone who have a different answer from this one? We will execute the query. Yeah, for what, Susam? What this query will do? So actually that we will going to run the query to count all the number of rows which have some data. Understood? We are going to run a query to, yeah, we are going to run a query and count all the rows which have some actually data. Am I audible, guys? सबको आ रही है आवाज मेरी? मैं okay, fine. So we are going to run a query to get all the rows, to get all the count of rows which have some data. So what will be my query for Mongo for MySQL? That is actually, yeah, right, Susant. The query is select, okay, select count column name. So let's suppose I have which is a required field. If I am registering on a platform, which is a required field among these three? Okay, if I'm registering on a platform which have some which takes name, email, and password, which is a required field? It's obvious, email. Okay, we have a email as a required field. So I'm going to see count email field from users collection, users table. Got it? So this will give me a data value of, let's suppose, 200 or 2000. So this is something called number of users registered on my platform. Understood? Got it, guys? Sabko? So this is what we have. This is what how we are performing some operations on the databases. Okay. So similarly, we have a NoSQL database. Similarly, we have a NoSQL database. In case of SQL database, they are storing some data in row table format, rows and columns. But in case of NoSQL databases, they are going to store data in either key value pair or column family, or we can say graphs or documents. So the most famous one is about to be MongoDB. MongoDB stores data in the form of document. Okay, so what they are going to do, I have some MongoDB operations database in my system. So let's suppose this is a MongoDB database. Is my screen visible, guys? ये terminal दिख रहा है आपको? Is it visible? सबको? Okay, so let's suppose I'm going to use so DBs. So this is my I'm just going to run this MongoDB server first of all. So Mongo. So this is my Mongo server running behind. Now I'm going to use so DBs, which will eventually give me an idea how much databases that I have in my platform machine. Okay, so we have so DBs and we have almost 6 database. Admin and config is by default actually. So we have almost 3 databases: e-commerce, practice, and test. Let's suppose I'm just getting into the e-commerce. So how we can switch into the database? If we have 6 databases, how we can switch into a particular database? So there's a command called use. Okay, there's a command called use e-commerce. Okay, this is a database actually. This is a database name. I just want to use, I just want to give it a command, use e-commerce as a DB. So I'm going to write it, press enter here. So this is going to switch into the DB commerce. We are now working in a MongoDB. Okay, currently we are in a MongoDB database. This is called MongoDB database. MongoDB database, which will store data in document format. And what is it? This document, what is document? It is actually a document which is a JSON. And what is this JSON? If you can see, so if you want to store some data like users registrations, okay, so what we're going to do, this is a curly braces, then we are going to add name, then let's suppose the name is Chahal, so CAHAL, Chahal, and then we are going to add a college name, college. So it is going to use LPU, or like we can say any IIT Bombay, IIT Mumbai, anything. Okay, so we are going to add this skill. So this is actually a document. Understood? So this is what we call as a document. Okay, anything you can. I'm just taking as an example approach. So this is what we call as a document. Understood? So we are storing this data in the document, and this document we are going to store inside the MongoDB database. In case of MySQL, we are storing in rows and columns. Okay, but in case of MongoDB, we are storing in a document. Okay, in this case, the field is very much, you can see, name is a field, college is a field. But in case of rows and table, cell is a called field. Understood? So this is what we call MongoDB, which is a type of NoSQL database, and we have something called SQL, which is called a relational databases. Got it? Okay. Now we are going to use this MongoDB database. Let's suppose how we can switch into the database. So first of all, there's a query called so DBs. So, but how this command works? This will going to return all databases. Okay. Then we have something called used command, which will use to switch into the database. Switch with database. Understood? So this is so DBs and this is use. These are the two command that we have learned till now. Okay, so DBs is used for returning all the databases. Then we have a use, so which will eventually help you in switching between the databases. Okay, so I have used the term use e-commerce. So I have almost 3 databases that we have in my platform, in my system. I'm going to use e-commerce. I just want to apply all the queries in e-commerce database. So I just use e-commerce just to switch into the in the DB e-commerce database. Okay, now I'm going to do some operations like CRUD operations. Okay, what are the CRUD operations that I'm going to perform? Let's suppose I just want to apply create operations first of all. So let's see what is create. So which type of DB is used most? So it's based like relational database and NoSQL database are the most one which is preferred by current developers. Okay, either if you just going to any of the companies, किसी भी company में जाओ, आप या तो relational database देखोगे या NoSQL database देखोगे. I'm just using relational and NoSQL, not using MySQL or MongoDB. I'm using a relational database and NoSQL database. There's a further types of database that exist in a relational database. Relational database में कौन कौन से database आते हैं? Apache. Okay, if you can see, I have just mentioned here. If you can see SQL relational database, or if you can say SQL databases. So we have PostgreSQL, we have MySQL, we have Oracle. Okay, so these are the database that is for SQL databases. So what is SQL database? I just mentioned here in the definition also. SQL is structured query language, also known as relational database, is a type of database management system that is used on a relational model. Okay, that relational model is row and column. It organizes and stores data in a structured manner using tables with rows and columns to represent entities and their relations. Understood? So we have already get an idea what is SQL. Okay, so we have very much database that we have in the market actually, PostgreSQL, MySQL, and Oracle databases. So if you are just going to any of the companies, you can see some of them are using PostgreSQL because PostgreSQL is very famous one actually. Some of them are using MySQL, some of them are using Oracle database. If we are talking about NoSQL database, if you can see, NoSQL refers to a non-relational SQL database or not only SQL. These are two full standardization of NoSQLs. Okay, it allows user to store and retrieve data that is modeled in means other than tabular relations. That means there's not something like it is saying here document format में ही होगा. NoSQL database ऐसा नहीं कह रहा कि document format में ही होगा. It is saying either they can store it in document, either they can store in key value pair, either they can store in either they can store in graph. Okay, so because GraphQL is also a type of NoSQL database. So we have separated two databases. One is SQL, which is dealing with rows and columns. Then we have a NoSQL, which is not dealing with rows and columns. Understood? So we have separated in this case. We have divided the database in this case, in this way. Understood? So among this NoSQL database, MongoDB is a very famous one that is used by most of the companies actually. Okay, and how you decide which database you have to choose. Okay, how you decide which database you have to choose. So there's a very famous, like you have to standardize how to use, or like you have to get an idea कि आप जो database को किस लिए use करोगे. We'll come on that part after this CRUD operation. Okay, we'll come on that part. But just to give you an idea, what is CRUD before that. So just learning what is create operations. If we can see. So MongoDB has something called db.collection_name.insert. Then we have to use document of array or documents. Okay, and then this option. Let's suppose we are going to insert this some of the documents inside the terminal or inside my database. So I'm going to use products. Okay, let's suppose I'm going to use products. So DB means I'm using e-commerce DB because I have already run the command use e-commerce. Understood, guys? So I already use e-commerce. That means my current database is e-commerce. So I'm going to use db.products. Okay, I already mentioned db.collection_name. Again, in case of SQL, we are dividing data in tables. In case of MongoDB, we are dividing data in collections. Got it? In SQL, we are dividing tables in tables. In NoSQL, we are dividing tables in we are dividing data in collections. So here we call collection. So I'm going to make a, because it's the e-commerce, so I'm going to use products. So db.products.insert. So this is my command. Now I'm going, it is expecting to give me all documents. So let's suppose I'm going to pass it here. First of all, I want to only want to insert a single document. मैं एक single document insert करना चाहता हूँ इसमें. So what we are going to do? ID is let's suppose because MongoDB gives you a default ID. So I'm going to use title of product. So title is, let's suppose uh, just suppose a t-shirt. Okay, then we have descriptions. It's should we have some description? So let's go red, full red t-shirt. Okay, size M and all these things. Okay, this is about to be and we can say full sleeves. Okay, this is my description of my product. Then we are going to use product like price. So price should be, let's suppose 3000. Then we're going to use category. Category should be, we can say male. Okay, then we're going to use anything like discount. Let's suppose 5%. 5. And I'm going to end this one. So I just what is my query right now? DB, I'm using e-commerce database. Then we are using products. I'm using product collection. Okay. Then I'm going to writing an insert command. Insert command is used for creating a document. Okay. So I'm using insert. Then I passed the document that I would like to insert. So my document has a title of t-shirt, description of red t-shirt, size M and full sleeves. Then you have a price of 3000, categories of male and a discount of 5. I'm going to run this query. You can just see it has mentioned right result inserted 1. Okay, right result inserted 1. That means I have this command inserted one document. How we can see is it inserted or not? Okay, so that is called read operation. So what type of operation that we have done right now actually? Anyone guys? अभी हमने कौन सा operation execute किया? We have inserted document in the collection. Anyone? Not update actually. We have just inserted. Inserted means created a new one. So that's what, yeah, insert command which will create. Yeah, create is a operation that we have done. So from CRUD that we have, that's actually agenda of this workshop CRUD. We have just run create operation. Okay, we have inserted a document inside the collection. That means we have created a document in the collection. So that we have performed a CRUD operation. Now, if we want to see what are the products that we have in the collection, I want to see all products in my collection. Okay, I would like to see all products that exist in my collection. So I'm going to run this query. DB. I need to perform which one, guys? Which operation did I need to perform? Anyone? If I want to see all products in my collection. So Chahal says read. Anyone? Select, yeah, that's the type of MySQL terminologies, Chahal. But we are just using MongoDB, but I'm just giving a command of MySQL also. So let's suppose if this command, whatever we have learned done in the MongoDB, similarly I need to perform for MySQL also. Let's suppose I want to insert a row in my table in case of MySQL databases, because I don't have any MySQL database in my system right now. But just give you an idea what is the query that I have to perform in case of MySQL. So in case of MySQL, I have to write like we have just mentioned here in case of this MySQL. We have to use insert into. Okay, let's suppose similarly in case of I have a products table. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use insert into, okay, table name that is called products. My table name will be products. Then we have a column one. Column one means first we have insert title. Then we have description. Okay. Uh, then we have price. Then we have category. So these are the column name. Am I right? Then we have discount. So these are the five column names that we have in products table. Then I need to insert values. So values. Okay, what are the values that I have to insert? The first one is t-shirt. Okay, then is about to be description. So that is about to be like a red t-shirt, size M. We can say full sleeves. So this is the description, let's suppose. So this is the description. Next about the price, there is 3,000. Category male. Okay, then discount is 5. So that's it. I need to run this query for inserting this for doing the same operation that we have done in MongoDB. Understood, guys? So in case of MongoDB, I need to perform the same table, this command for the same operation that we have done in the MongoDB also. Got it, Chan? Or anyone, or rest of the student guys also. Did you guys understood how we can insert new document or new rows and new columns in in a table in MySQL database, or we can say SQL database? I want reply from everyone, guys. Yes or no? So only 4 students have response. Got it. Great. So how's the class going, guys? मजा आ रहा है सबको? Is it interesting? Is it valuable to you guys? Great. Okay, this is for the creating a new create from CRUD operation. Okay, now we are going to learn about read. Okay, so I'm just going to read off this text and I'm going to alter back to this one. Sir, कितने hours की workshop है? It is all about 2 hours. I will going to end it when my topic is going to get ended. Okay, great. So we are going to see all products that we have in my collection. That we have in my collection. So what is that is called read operation. You have already mentioned in the chat. Okay, we are going to perform read operations. So in case of read operation that you can see in MongoDB, we have 3 commands. Similarly, in case of Achha, good. Okay. So in case of MongoDB, we have 3 commands for reading or read operation. One is find one, and find many. Similarly, in case of insert also. Let's suppose we have learned about insert only. Okay. Now we have to insert one, which is for inserting a single document. Okay. In MongoDB, we have 3 commands: insert one, insert many. So insert is for inserting a document. Either we are going to insert one document or multiple documents. You are free to use insert. Okay, if you want to use insert one, let's see. There's a difference in response. Okay, if you can see. So we have performed a insert operation with the help of insert method. Now we are going to perform method with insert one. In case of MySQL, there is only one method that is called insert into. Okay, but in case of MongoDB, we have 3 operations. That is insert one, and insert many. Let's suppose I'm going to insert by those 2 methods also. So db dot products dot insert one. So I'm restricted. If I am using this method insert one, that means I am restricted to insert only single document. Okay, I'm being restricted to insert single document. So I'm just going to add title as, now let's suppose in jeans. Let's suppose description. Similarly, we have something called blow low waist jeans size 32. Okay, then we have something called price. So price is let's suppose 2700. Categories again male. Male. Then we have a discount. Discount. So let's suppose 10. So this is a command that we have run with the help of insert one method. Now just see the response. Okay, when we have run this command insert, you have get the response right result inserted one. Okay, if you have run this command is with the help of insert method, you will get the response in right result insert one. Now I'm going to use insert one method. Just see the response. What's the response? Acknowledged is equal to true. That means your query runs successfully. Okay, this insert one command gives you a better idea that your query runs successfully. Okay, next is what's the inserted ID? The document that is created inside the MongoDB, it will create a new ID or unique ID that is called primary key. Okay, so that's the inserted, it will return the inserted ID. So this is a response that we are getting for with the help of insert one. Understood, guys? Similarly, for the insert many, if I'm just using insert many command here, so insert many will give you an access of inserting more than one document. So if we have title as we can say, now I'm going to add array of insert many is expecting an array of objects. If we are using insert many, so there this method accepts an array of objects. So it has title. So I'm going to use again. We can say sari, blue, cotton. Okay, price is again we have something like 7,200 because actually female prices are most costlier than male clothes. Female, and again discount is 10. Okay, let's insert. Let's again add another object inside it. So we have again title as let's suppose because it's Sue or like anything like we can say cert. Okay, description again description. We are just using like a red or you can say yellow shirt. Okay, size is small s. Okay, then I'm going to use price. So it's a child category. So price is 1,700. Let's suppose category is children. 2000. Okay, I'm just repeating it. 2000. Category children, and again discount. How much discount, guys? Anyone? कोई बनाना चाहता है? डिस्काउंट बच्चों का है, चलो यार 15% दे देते हैं. 33 GST. Okay, so I have just given array of document inside the insert many. Okay, so we have inserted array inside insert many. Now I'm just going to enter it. You can see with the help of insert many, we have just get a response of acknowledge. That means your query runs successfully. Acknowledge, when acknowledge is true, your query returns runs successfully. Then we have inserted ID. We are inserting two documents in one go. Then it returns inserted IDs, two object IDs. Okay, so this is what we call insert one, insert many. Understood, guys? Are you familiar? This is what we have in insert or create. Now let's come back to the read operation. So now we are going to see all the products that we have in my collection. So that is called read operation. How we are going to write it? So DP, now my collection is products. Then I'm going to use find. Okay, so I'm just using find. So this method expects a expects a filter. So do you want to return all documents? So yeah, we want to return all the documents to see all the documents that all the products that we have in my collection. So I'm not going to add any type of filter. Okay, I don't want, if I want to see all the products that we have in my collection, so I don't want to apply any type of filter there. So that's it. Then I'm going to use pretty to just see what's the response here. Let's see. You can see we have four documents here, but it's very much the visuality is not much very much confusing right now. So we need to prettify it. So I'm just using dot pretty. So it will convert it to a JSON format. Just see. Now we have four documents. So first the t-shirt, which have a price of 3,000. Then we have a jeans, which have a price of 2,700. Then we have a price of sari that have a 7,200. Then we have a shirt that we have a 2,000. Understood? Got it, guys? So this is all about read operation for with the help of find. Understood? Anyone guys कोई doubt कुछ? Okay, so this is all about find operation. Similarly, in case of find also we have find one and find many. Find one is used for returning a single document. Okay, find one is used for returning a single document. In case of find many, it is used to return a multiple documents based on your filter. Okay, let's suppose I'm going to apply find one now. I'm going to use find one, and still I'm not going to apply any type of filter. अभी भी जो मैं कोई filter apply नहीं कर रहा हूँ. Would you like to give me an answer, guys? कि कौन सा document आएगा response में? कोई बताना चाहेगा? Which document is going to be we are getting in response? If we are not applying any filter in find one, it will return no. A find one will return a single document. If we are using a find one, it will return a single document. And if you are not giving first one, chal. If we are not applying any type of filter, it will return a first one. See. Okay, I need to pass a curly braces there. db.products find one pretty is okay. Sorry, it is not returning an array, so I'm not expecting to pass pretty here. You can see when I'm just using find one, it returns the first only one document, and which document it is? It's the first document, t-shirt of 3,000. If you can see t-shirt of 3,000. Got it. So if you are using find one, it will return a single document. Similarly, if I'm using find many, it will return a multiple documents. Still, I'm not going to pass any type of filter here. कोई भी filter में pass नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I'm going to use pretty. See, it is still it expects the filter part, so I'm going to use this one. Okay, just wait. Find many. I need to use filter. Let's suppose category is male. So I need to pass filter here. Let's see. Type error db.products find many is not a function. So maybe I have an older version of MongoDB. That's why it's not working here. MongoDB 5 has launched this find many also, so you can easily use find many. Okay, maybe I have an older version of MongoDB, but find has a three operation: find one, and find many. Recently, MongoDB has updated find many, which will eventually added this filter part. Okay, let's come back to the topic. If how we can apply filter. So find category male. Now I'm going to use pretty here. You can see it will return all the document which is whose category is male. You can see t-shirt and jeans. These are the only two documents from my collection which have a category of male. Understood, guys? How we can apply filter? Got it? So that is called read operation. Understood with the MongoDB read operation, or we can say NoSQL read operation. Now, when we are talking about SQL read operation, how we are going to write it? Okay, if we want to return a same value, same all the document in the MongoDB in the MySQL, what we are going to do? We are going to use select star. That star means asterisk means all. Okay, in MySQL, asterisk means all. So star asterisk from which collection I want to serve, get all the documents that is in products. Okay, it will return all documents. सारे rows return कर देगा ये. Understood, guys? So this is how we are going to write in MySQL. This is a query that you need to write for returning all the products that we have in my table. Understood, guys? सबको समझ आ गया? If you want to apply filters, like similarly in case of MongoDB we have performed कि हाँ return all the document which has a category of male. Similarly, if you want to apply in case of MySQL, how you can do it? That is something like case of select asterisk from products where there is a called where clause. Okay, in SQL we have called where clause, so where category is equal to male. Understood? So this is the query that we have to write to return all the rows which has category of male. Understood, guys? Any doubt? Any doubt, guys? In read operation, this is all about read operations. There's a like most important case is read. In case of Flipkart, what do you think? Which operation is going to be which is going to be happen more? In case of Flipkart or in case of Instagram? Anyone, guys? कौन से ऑपरेशन ज्यादा होते हैं, रीड या क्रिएट? एनीवन कोई बताना चाहेगा कि in the platform like Instagram, in case of Flipkart, in case of Amazon, what type of operation is going to be more happen more frequently? So Susan says read. Anyone else? No idea. Okay. Okay, Chad. What about the rest of the student? Anyone, like if you are calling an API to fetch all the product from database, what that API is? Is it a create or is it a read? अगर आप एक API कॉल कर रहे हो जिसे कह रहे हो कि सारे प्रोडक्ट्स मुझे दिखा दो अपने होम पेज पे, तो that is a create or read? Read, obviously. If you are fetching like product details, if you are fetching seller details, if you are fetching price, if you are fetching discounts, if you are fetching warranties or invoices, if you are fetching order details, if you are fetching all the order that is in your cart, order history, cart history, all the product that is in your cart, ये सारे operations क्या है? कौन से operations है ये? Cart history find करना, order history find करना, we can say about अपने recommended products देखना, सारे read operations है. और write operations कौन से हुए? When you are creating an order, आपने order place किया, that is the write operation, right? when you are reporting that about your product, when you are giving a feedback, okay, what do you think? Which is going to happen frequently? Are you ordering frequently, or are you fetching your products from the database? Which happens more frequently? Anyone? I'm repeating my question. Are you ordering some products from Flipkart or Amazon, or you are fetching just sitting on the platform just to see कौन से नए products हैं देख लेते हैं? क्या करते हो आप? This is all user behavior. सारे user आप सारे users हो Flipkart के, सारे users हो Amazon के. So you are the users. What you are doing frequently? Fetching is quite common. Yeah, most of the users क्या करते हैं कि जस्ट Amazon ओपन करते हैं, चलो यार देख लेते हैं कौन सा नया प्रोडक्ट है, किस पे डिस्काउंट आ रहा है, ओके, कौन सब देखते थे कि कौन सा डिस्काउंट आ रहा है. तो फेचिंग इज गोइंग टू बी हैपन मोर फ्रीक्वेंटली. ओके, फ्लो सेज ऑर्डरिंग. ओके, अच्छा. तो फेचिंग इज गोइंग टू हैपन मोर फ्रीक्वेंटली. आप ऐसी कभी भी खाली टाइम हुआ, चलो यार इंस्टाग्राम फीड देख रहे हैं क्या आ रहा है, क्या नया है, रिव्यूज देख लिया. रिव्यूज देखना इज ऑल अबाउट फेचिंग. It's about read operations. You are doing a read operations more often than doing a create operation. आप क्या रील बनाते हो? क्रिएटर्स बहुत रील्स बनाते हैं, तो उसमें क्रिएटर्स की कम्युनिटी कम है in case of Instagram in comparison to users. Okay, so these are the platforms which is read major, not write major. Okay, so they need, if you want a platform जहाँ पे आपको बहुत optimized read मिलेगा, that increases the user like user confidence, user trust. अगर आपको एक वेबसाइट दिख रही है, फ्लिपकार्ट का ही वेबसाइट लेते हैं हम, अगर आप फ्लिपकार्ट वेबसाइट पे आप आए और 3 सेकंड से आपका पेज जो है लोड हो ही रहा है, तो जस्ट गेटिंग रिवर्ट बैक, एम आई राइट? यू आर वेरी मच इजीली जो होगा आप वापस चले जाओ, Amazon खोल लोगे. अगर 3-4 सेकंड तक आपका पेज लोड ही होता रहेगा, तो who is responsible for this case? If you are can't fetch your products from databases, who is responsible? Your read operation. You have made your API more unoptimized, जिसकी वजह से वो 3 से 4 सेकंड लेता है अपने डेटाबेस से प्रोडक्ट को फैच करने में. So try to work on your you are going to optimize your read operation वाला API, isn't it? If you are going to have a high response time. So read, most of the website, like most of the databases have done many of the things based on read operations. कुछ लोगों ने indexing लाई है. Indexing is a part of MongoDB for having good search. Okay, it's something like aggregation pipeline in MongoDB. तो सारे बहुत बड़े कंसेप्ट है जिसकी हेल्प से आप रीडिंग ऑपरेशन जो है बहुत इजीली बना सकते हो. ओके, एवरी कंपनी वांट्स कि उनके एपीआई के रिस्पांस जो है कम से कम टाइम पे आए. फॉर दैट थिंग दे वांट अ ऑप्टिमाइज्ड रीड ऑपरेशन क्वेरी. अंडरस्टूड? if we are creating a post, it is very much evident कि वो टाइम लेगा. And if I'm just uploading a reel on Instagram, it is evident कि हाँ बहुत ज्यादा टाइम लेगा वो. Okay, as a user I'm expecting कि हाँ यार टाइम लेगा क्योंकि मैं एक नया रील डाल रहा हूँ. But if I am a user and I am being scrolling the feed and this feed is in a loading phase, I am being frustrated and just go back. Okay, so as a user I want कि read operation बहुत ही smooth होना चाहिए. Okay, so just try it, like after this session, just try to go through the read operations, because every company wants their APIs, read APIs response time are very low. Understood? So we have some very like aggregation pipeline joins in MongoDB, MySQL, aggregation pipeline in MongoDB. So these are some things in databases which will help in optimizing the queries. Okay, बहुत सारी चीजें जिसमें queries को optimize किया जाए. Whatever you might have heard about DSA, time complexity. आप time complexity जो सीख रहे हो कहाँ apply करोगे? In building APIs. Is it possible to have multiple APIs for same task? Yeah, Utkarsh. Let's suppose आप क्या करोगे? I'm just giving a use case. Let's suppose there is a bank. Okay, there is a bank. You have a bank account. Utkarsh has a bank account. Okay, then Ankit has a bank account. अंकित के पास लेट्स सपोज 50,000 रुपए है, ओके, उत्कर्ष के पास 30,000 रुपए, ओके, व्हाट दे वांट, 3 लाख हो गया यार, चलो 3 लाख रुपए, ओके, सो व्हाट दे उत्कर्ष वांट्स टू डू अ ट्रांजैक्शन, उत्कर्ष वांट्स टू डू अ ट्रांजैक्शन ऑफ रुपीज 1 like 10,000 टू अंकित, व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन, उत्कर्ष जो है वो 10,000 रुपए जो वो अंकित को भेजना चाहता है, यस सर आई हैव ग्रेट, okay, if Utkarsh wants to do a transaction of 10,000 rupees to Ankit, what is going to happen, there is two processes that are going to happen, दो प्रोसेस होंगे, पहला क्या होगा, उत्कर्ष से 10,000 रुपए पहले उत्कर्ष की टोटल अमाउंट से 10,000 रुपए डिडक्ट होंगे, दैट इज अबाउट बी, इसका डिडक्शन के बाद कितना आएगा 2,90,000, देन दिस इज फर्स्ट क्वेरी, ये पहली क्वेरी होगी, query 1, then we have to add this 10,000 in Ankit account, so we have to run a query for adding 10,000 in Ankit account, that is a query 2, okay, so we have to run two queries, but in this case we have to run one more query before doing a transaction or before initiating a transaction, we have to check भाई उत्कर्ष के पास 10,000 रुपए है भी कि नहीं है, understood, we as a bank I need to verify कि उत्कर्ष के अकाउंट में 10,000 रुपए है भी कि नहीं है, तो I need to do a read operation here, read operation होगा एक पहले यहाँ पे, read operation in उत्कर्ष अकाउंट, तो रीड पहला होगा रीड ऑपरेशन उत्कर्ष अकाउंट की, उसके अकाउंट में जो है उत्कर्ष के अकाउंट में 10,000 से ज्यादा रुपए होने चाहिए भाई, तभी मैं इनिशिएट करूंगा ट्रांजैक्शन, वरना मैं इनिशिएट ही नहीं करूंगा, so in this case for doing a transaction we have to run 3 queries, understood, we have to run 3 queries, so this is all about like multiple, you can in case of a particular API we have a multiple queries, but Utkarsh is like multiple APIs, we have something like that part also, if you are making a API for a single query, then eventually it will give you a 3 queries, 3 APIs, understood Utkarsh, इस पर्टिकुलर ट्रांजैक्शन के लिए आपके 3 APIs बन गए, तो आपको 3 API को एक साथ चलाना पड़ेगा सेम टास्क करने के लिए, so for that thing we have something called in MongoDB we have something called transactions, एक ट्रांजैक्शंस का भी कंसेप्ट होता है MongoDB के अंदर, सिमिलरली इन केस ऑफ लाइक MySQL में भी ट्रांजैक्शन के होता है, व्हाट इट विल गोइंग टू डू, आई एम जस्ट गिविंग अ केस, एक यूजर केस बताता हूं कि लेट्स सपोज उत्कर्ष के अकाउंट में से 10,000 रुपए कट गए, डिडक्ट हो गए, 10,000 rupees are deducted from Utkarsh account, and when we are doing performing this query, हम ये क्वेरी परफॉर्म कर रहे थे जब when we are adding 10,000 rupees in अंकित अकाउंट, सर्वर डाउन हो गया, बैंक का सर्वर डाउन हो गया, ओके, और एनीथिंग हैपेंस इन द अंकित अकाउंट साइड, कुछ भी अंकित के साइड अकाउंट के साइड कुछ हो गया, सो व्हाट्स द केस, डू यू गेट एन आइडिया कि क्या हुआ यहाँ पे, उत्कर्ष के अकाउंट से 10,000 रुपए डिडक्ट हो भी गए बट अंकित के अकाउंट पे आए भी नहीं, ओके, दिस इज समथिंग लाइक पहली क्वेरी रन हो गई लेकिन दूसरी क्वेरी फेल हो गई, सो वी हैव टू डील विद दिस सिचुएशन, इस केस में क्या होना चाहिए कि उस 10,000 रुपए जो वापस ऐड होना चाहिए उत्कर्ष के अकाउंट में, सो वी हैव समथिंग कॉल्ड रोल बैक, अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम हुई तो उसे रोल बैक करो, राइट, चल, so if there is any problem in query 2 or query 3 we have to roll back the phase, so that is called rollback in transactions, right, chal, so this is also called देख लो कितना इंपॉर्टेंट है, कितनी बड़ी बड़ी बातें हो जाती है इस केस में, डेटाबेस के केस में, understood, so this is all about read operations, after this session just try to explore, is it inbuilt in DB, yeah it is inbuilt in DB, you have to perform some queries, इस केस में होता है transaction.db.start transactions, okay, db.start transactions, then we have to db.commit transactions, okay, so all there's a lot of things that we have inside the DB, और inside the queries की कोई अंत ही नहीं है, if we are learning about MongoDB, there's a bunch of queries that you have learned. In case of SQL queries, there is a bunch of queries that you have learned. Okay, but whichever database you are going to choose, just choose wisely, or just go inside the very much deep inside it. Okay, so we have learned about read. Now we are going to back in on update. अब हम update के बारे में तो पढ़ लेते हैं. So similarly, we have something called update also. So in case of read, we have made is select star from products. In case of updates, we have three queries. One is update, which is open for update one document, update many document. In case of MySQL, we have an update keyword through which you can update the query. Just try to try this query in MongoDB database. Let's suppose I want to increase the price of this t-shirt. Okay, I would like to increase the price of this t-shirt, or let's suppose I want to increase the discount of this male category. Okay, मैं जो है मेल कैटेगरी वाले सारे प्रोडक्ट्स की डिस्काउंट जो बढ़ाना चाहता हूँ. Okay, what we're going to do, this is update query actually. So db dot which is a collection actually products dot update. I'm going to use update. Okay, then it takes two parameter. Okay, update from method takes two parameter. First is filter. So I have to filter it. Category is should be male. I want to perform this update operation only for the male category products. So I have added a filter. Then I'm going to add a update one operation. So that is going to $set. So $set is something that you have to add. Then the field name. So I'm going to use discount. So let's suppose male का season चल रहा है, men's day चल रहा है. So discount is 15%. ओके, हैप्पी मेंस डे का चल रहा है, कोई टैक्स चल रहा है, कोई वो चल रहा है, तो इसमें हमने डिस्काउंट जो 15% दे दिया है. So this is about to be $set. Then I'm going to use this one, close this query, and let's see what's the response. You can see right result unmatched. Unmatched means how like with a category of male, how many products we have updated. That's one. Okay, unmodified is one. So we have something called male as a 4 category, but we need to use update many that case. So let's see again. So we have category of 15, but in only one product. Now in this case, we have to update many. Okay, so I'm going to use db dot products dot update many. Okay, then I'm going to again add a filter that is called category. A category should be male. Okay, this is my filter. Then I'm going to update it. $set get discount should be, let's suppose, 20. Close it. Let's see. This returns. I'm using update many method here. So it returns acknowledged true. That means your query runs successfully. Now meshed count. Meshed count means how many document we have found with this filter. That is 2. We have 2 document with the category of male. Then we have how we have modified, how much document we have successfully modified it. That is 2. Okay, so now I'm going to run that query again. That read query. You can see both product have the discount of 20%. Understood, guys? As when this is about to update. Similarly, we have update one, which will going to update a single document. Understood? So this is of U from CRUD. Okay, how we are going to perform this same query in MySQL. हम MySQL में कैसे same query update करेंगे? So we have something called update. So we are going to use update. Which table it is? It's products. We are going to use set. Which column I have to update? I have to update like discount. The discount is equal to 20. Where I have to add a where clause here. Where condition should be category should be male. Okay, this should be small. Understood? This is my update query for MySQL database. Update from on in product table by setting discount to equal to 20 on which row which have a category of male. Understood, guys? So this is a update query for SQL database. Any doubt, guys? Great. Now we have something called delete. Okay, so we are on the last phase of CRUD. CRU, we already covered CRU. Now we have to delete. So in case of MongoDB, we have delete one document called delete one, and delete multiple document we have delete many. Okay, so these are the two methods through which we can delete the document. Let's see. I'm going to apply it. In my MongoDB database, I'm going to write hers. So hers has mentioned the table query for deleting a data from product table in MySQL database. Now I'm going to give you an idea in my MongoDB database. So DB, I'm going DB dot products. I'm going to insert first of all a new one. So this is my insert many. Yeah, this is on my insert many. So I'm going to use again a children category, yellow jeans. Okay, size this case is like 28. This is jeans. Again, we have something called female category of 2200. We can say frock, or we can say dress. Okay, this is a two document I would like to insert here. Yeah, just said it. So we have inserted a two document. Like let's see the read operation. Let's perform a read operation here. db.products db.products dot find dot pretty. We are about to end, guys. Just wait about 10 more minutes. So it will give return all documents that we have. Now I'm going to perform a delete operation. So db dot I'm going to perform. I want to delete multiple documents from a database. Okay, I would like to delete all the database whose discount values more than 20. Okay, so I would like to delete all document whose discount value is more than 20. So what we are going to do, db dot products. Okay, db dot products. Then we are going to use delete many. Delete many. Now I have to add a filter. So what's the filter is discount to be greater than 20. So for that thing we have some operator. What should be the operator? Dollar greater. So we have something called dollar greater. If you can see, we have an operator called dollar greater, means all the value greater than. So similarly we have greater than equal to, GTE, greater than equal to. Then we have dollar LT, that means less than. We have dollar less than equal to, so LTE, so less than equal to. Got it? So these are the four things, four methods through which we can help to filter the documents more precisely. So I'm going to use dollar greater then like I say 20. I'm not going to include 20 as it. So I'm just using dollar greater. So that's it. And I want to delete all the document whose discount is greater than 20. Okay, so this is my query. db.products.delete many discount should be greater than 20. I'm just going to and click enter. It returns acknowledge true, delete count true. That acknowledge true means all your query does successfully. Delete count means how many document that it is deleted. That is true. Understood? It delete this document and this document. Got it? So this is all about delete operation in MongoDB. If we are talking about how delete operation in MySQL, Hers has already mentioned here. I'm just giving you an idea again. If we are going to perform the delete operation for the same thing, so what we are going to do, we are going to use delete from what is the collection table name? It's products. Okay, what should be a collection? Where don't try to use where, it's unless or until सब कुछ उड़ा देगा वो. Okay, try to use where clause. आपने वो वाला रील तो देखा ही होगा ना. I एक बंदा रो रहा होता है, just write run a query, delete query without where clause. Did you guys saw that reel? I run a delete query without where clause, and that deletes all the whole table. So it's a very famous reel that most of the guys have you seen this reel. So we have to use a where clause, just a where clause, and where discount is greater than 20. So this is my delete query for MySQL database. Understood, guys? So this is all about CRUD. Okay. Okay. So yeah, whenever you join the company or any organization, be cautious when you are using delete query. Okay. Unless or until you are getting being fired. Okay. If you are running a query, delete query without where
सर नींद आ रही है.
नींद नहीं आ रही तो सो जाओ यार. We it's almost take two or more minutes. Okay. So that's it all about CRUD operations, guys. One more thing I would like to add. Some of the you guys have questioned me like which database I have to choose. Okay, which database I have to choose. So it's based on how your platform is. Okay, if you are making a platform which is read major, okay, I'm just giving you an idea. If you are making a platform which is read major, so if you are making a platform which is which has a read major query, that then it is preferred to use MongoDB. Okay, it is preferred to use MongoDB. If you are making a platform which has a write major, okay, then you should prefer MySQL, or we can say relational RDBMS. So this is a query with some of the students asked me in mid of the session, like how we choose a database. So if your platform has a read major operation, we already discussed how we can evaluate your database. Okay. Let's suppose read major is Instagram. Most of the guys most of the users of the Instagram platform is for seeing the feed or seeing the reels, isn't it? Most of the users just come for on the Cypher on Instagram platform just to scroll the feed. Okay, that's actually read operation, am I right? Like if you are comparing the user who is creating reel or doing a post with scrolling feed, you are getting a good number of difference. Do you guys? If you are comparing a user who are scrolling the feed, okay, and if you are comparing with a person who is creating a post, which one is higher? Anyone? In case of Instagram, or in case of any social media platform, feed is higher. So most of the half of the audience is just coming on the Instagram just to scroll in the feed. That is actually read major. All the read major platform. When we are talking about MySQL, so when all the banks related data database, जो भी जितने बैंक के database है, जिसमें write operations काफी वो करते हैं, high demand में होते हैं. If you are seeing the payment gateway of any platform like Razorpay, or we can say about Phone Pay, Google Pay, Paytm. Okay, it has a write major. You are just coming on that platform just doing the transaction. Am I right, guys? आप जब पेटीएम कब यूज करते हो, जब आपको ट्रांजैक्शन करना होता है, दैट मींस ट्रांजैक्शन इज अ राइट एपीआई, राइट ऑपरेशन. Okay, so when you are using operation for when it is right measure, then you have to choose MySQL database or RDBMS database. How to use WebSocket? So see, of course, WebSocket is a type of communication between the APIs. Okay, so if you can see, I'm just removing all these things. First of all, give me an answer. ये समझ में आ गया? कब हमें कौन सा डेटाबेस चूज करना है, कब हमें डॉक्यूमेंटेड डेटाबेस यूज करना है, कब हमें आरडीबीएमएस यूज करना है. Okay, so Ankush says when we have to use WebSocket. So I'm just giving an idea who don't have any idea about what is WebSocket. So we already discussed कि एक client होता है, आपका एक लैपटॉप है जिसपे आप फ्लिपकार्ट वेबसाइट खोल रखे हो. Okay, then we have a server. There is a server और we can say backend server. और कहीं ना कहीं फिर एक डेटाबेस पड़ा होगा, बैठा हुआ वहां पे रखा हुआ. ठीक है, so you are directly contacting this server, backend server. So what's the type of communication? What's the type of communication you are providing? This is API. So API should also have a communication that's called TCP, that's called UDP, that's called WebSocket, that is called GCRP, GRCP. So these are the type of communication through which you can make an API. आप अपने API को कौन सा मेथड दे रहे हो जिससे क्लाइंट से और सर्वर से कांटेक्ट कर सके. Understood? Which method you are going to, which type of communication you are using to communicate between client and server. That is called actually communication method. And inside the communication method we have TCP, that REST API that you are making. जो भी REST API आप use करते हो मान stack में और mean stack में, वो सारे TCP request है. When we have a socket, so it's a web socket, it's a socket. So there's only difference when we have seeing the request rest and response. क्या difference होता है? In case of rest में क्या होता है? This is client and this is server. Okay, you are requesting to requesting for data, sender response, sends the response. That's it. You initiated request, said okay, then again it sends the request कि हाँ give me product data. So server says take this. Okay, so, this one says thank you. Okay, it will close the connection. Okay, this is actually TCP. It initiated the request, it sent okay, our server is live, you are connected with server. Okay, it says give me a product data, server gives you product data, it says thank you, acknowledge, yeah, fine. So this is how TCP communicates. I just give you an idea in a very comical way. Okay, कि हाँ कैसे TCP communicate करता है, but how this is how TCP communicates. It's wait for acknowledgement. Okay, TCP communication waits for acknowledgement. This is a most important thing that a TCP communication works. But in case of WebSocket, okay, I'm just going to remove TCP. समझ में आ गया आपको? Yeah, I'm just coming on that part UDP. But TCP समझ में आया सबको? Everyone? Yes or no? Okay, Kunal. Pankaj got it. Okay, fine. I'm just removing this TCP. Let's come back to the like UDP. UDP में क्या होता है? So there is something when you are streaming a video, जैसे YouTube चला रहे हो आप. YouTube में जो आप वीडियो स्ट्रीमिंग कर रहे हो, वीडियो जो देख रहे हो, that is coming from with a UDP protocol. UDP वो वेट नहीं कर रहा है एक्नॉलेजमेंट का. UDP don't wait for acknowledgement, not waits for acknowledgement. Understood? UDP not waits for acknowledgement. I think it's a universal. I think is it like I was just getting. I don't have any idea about UDP full form, but it's a universal protocol. I will give you an idea. Just searching on platform, the internet, you will get an idea. But I just give an idea that UDP not waits for acknowledgement. Even they don't initiate. UDP don't initiate for user diagram protocol, right, Chan? Okay, so UDP don't initiate the connection. UDP जो है कनेक्शन को इनिशिएट भी नहीं करता है, नहीं पबजी जो गेमिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स है सारे सॉकेट्स पे काम करते हैं, सारे जो वीडियो स्ट्रीमिंग प्लेटफॉर्म्स होते हैं सारे यूडीपी पे काम करते हैं. There's something called like Google is researching on, like we can say HTTP 3.0. We have HTTP 3.0 जो अभी रिसर्च फेज पे है. इसमें जो है यूडीपी प्रोटोकॉल यूज हो रहा है फॉर रेस्ट एपीआईज. तो आने वाले टाइम में आप रेस्ट एपीआईज में यूडीपी प्रोटोकॉल को देखोगे with a good amount of response time, good response time actually. Okay, it's still in like research phase, but still all the video streaming platforms are working on UDP protocol. UDP not wait for acknowledgement, and even they not initiate the connection. Connection को initiate करने पे भी वो ध्यान नहीं देता, वो just request भेजता है और response लेता है. That is called UDP. UDP समझ में आया सबको? सारे स्ट्रीमिंग प्लेटफॉर्म जो है उस पे मत सोचो, like we can say फुल फॉर्म पे मत जाओ और जस्ट गेटिंग आइडिया कि कहाँ यूज हो रहा है और किस तरह से किस तरह से काम हो रहा है. ओके, यूडीपी समझ में आ गया. नाउ कमिंग ऑन द वेब सॉकेट. वेब सॉकेट्स किस तरह से वर्क करता है? सो दिस इज अ क्लाइंट, दिस इज अ सर्वर. ओके, इट and when you are just running your platform, जैसे आप WhatsApp ओपन करते हो तो you are getting online. Okay, so it initiates the request, are you available, or initiate the connection. Initiate connection, it says okay. Okay, then it will not going to end this connection. कनेक्शन को रोकेगा ही नहीं यहाँ पे. एक बार उसने कनेक्शन को इनिशिएट कर दिया, उसके बाद ये हर कुछ इंटरवल पे ये रिक्वेस्ट भेजेगा. कुछ नया डेटा आया, बोलेगा नहीं. कुछ नया डेटा आया, बोलेगा नहीं, या आया नहीं, जो भी है. So sir, it's all the chatting application, जो भी चैट एप्लीकेशन आप देख रहे हो, व्हाट्सएप, इंस्टाग्राम, सारे जो है वेब सॉकेट्स यूज कर रहे हैं. Understood? When you just see yourself online देखते हो तो मतलब you are online, your web socket is connected. जैसे ही डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाता है वैसे ही ऑफलाइन हो जाते हो. मतलब जैसे ही आपने व्हाट्सएप पे आए, व्हाट्सएप ओपन किया, वैसे ही ऑनलाइन दिख जाता है. इट मींस सॉकेट कनेक्शन इज सक्सेसफुल. जैसे ही आप प्लेटफॉर्म बंद करते हो, सॉकेट कनेक्शन डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाता है और आप ऑफलाइन हो जाते हो. सो ऑल द चैटिंग एप्लीकेशन वर्क्स ऑन वेब सॉकेट, or all the gaming application works on WebSocket. Understood, guys, about WebSocket? आगे समझे सबको? And about GCRP, it's still in like we can say in research phase. काफी ज्यादा डेवलपमेंट हो गई है उस पे, और बहुत सारे एप्लीकेशन जो GCRP is a Google protocol. GCRP जो है एक मेथड है जिसकी हेल्प से ये गूगल ने लॉन्च किया है, जिसकी हेल्प से एपीआई जो है काफी स्मूथली कम्युनिकेट करती है. ओके, it is still in a very researching or very early stage, but most of the companies have acquired this thing. कंपनीज ने इसकी एक्वायरिंग स्टार्ट कर दिया है. ओके, कि हम अपने जीसीआरपी यूज करें, क्योंकि इसमें जो है काफी इजीली वर्क्स होते हैं. ये जो जीसीआरपी जो है वो एचटीटीपी 2.0 यूज करती है, तो इसलिए जो थोड़ा सा फास्ट है इन कंपैरिजन टू एचटीटीपी 1.0. जो TCP प्रोटोकॉल्स होते हैं वो HTTP 1.0 होते हैं। ओके, सो इसलिए वो थोड़ा सा फास्ट है, तो इसलिए एवरीवन सारी कंपनी जो GCRP पे शिफ्ट हो रही है। So this is all about communication between communication method, guys. Okay, that's all about CRUD operations. We have covered a lot thing ki what is CRUD, what is database, how many database we have, which database we should prefer for different type of applications. Okay, what is the type of communications and all these things. If you have any doubt, we are open to ask. Feel free to ask, guys. Anyone? किसी को doubt? By the way, this is a 2-hour workshop and it's being 2 hours 12 minutes. Multiple APIs will slow down the execution. Yeah, Utkarsh, that's why we have something called GraphQL. Okay, GraphQL helps you if you are executing a multiple API for a particular task. If you like आपने अभी इतनी इतनी ऑप्टिमाइजेशन के बाद भी अगर आपकी क्वेरी जो है वर्क नहीं कर रही थी ज्यादा अच्छे से, then we have a GraphQL language. GraphQL क्या करता है, को एक सिंगल API endpoint देता है, उससे मल्टीपल टास्क को अलाइन कर देता है with a like stack manner. So that will help in optimizing your API. How to use WebSocket in the web? So that's called sockets. And if you have something called if you are working on Mun stack, if you are working on mean stack, there's all called socket library. You have there's a very famous website that exists on the platform in the internet, socket.io. You can see and you can see all the documentation that we have on socket, how we are emitting the events, how we are listening the events. These are the companies, I think these are the logos, yeah, sponsors. Okay, just go through the socket.io, you can get an idea ki how we are emitting an events, how we are listening an events. Okay guys, so that's it guys for today's workshop. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Thank you so much, Utkarsh. Okay guys, if you have any doubt, you can ask or you can leave. It's been 2 hours 15-minute workshop. You're welcome, Afroz, Kunal, Pankaj, Ankit, Susant, Ankush. You're welcome, Chad, Arif. You're welcome. You're welcome, Harsh. Yeah, thumbs up. You're welcome, Anamika. You can guys leave.